The bullet hit Captain Lena Harlow's chest at 2,400 feet per second. The impact threw her backward into the minefield they thought they'd just cleared. Master Sergeant Cole Rorden lowered his rifle, watching her body hit the ground 50 meters away. "Confirm the kill," he said into his radio. But as his spotter moved forward, something impossible happened. Through his scope, Rorden watched Lena's hand move. Not a death spasm, a deliberate motion reaching for something on her vest. She was alive. The body armor had caught the round, and now she knew. Her own team had just tried to murder her. "She's down." The spotter lied into comms. "Clean kill." But Lena Harlow wasn't down. She was in a minefield, surrounded by enemies disguised as teammates, with a cracked sternum and rage that could melt steel. They thought eliminating the surgeon who'd saved 47 soldiers in 6 months would be easy. They were about to learn why her call sign was Flatline, because the only thing more dangerous than a combat surgeon who can save you is one who knows exactly how to kill you. But before I tell you how she survived a point-blank shooting, escaped a minefield, and hunted down the men who betrayed her, drop a comment telling us where you're watching from, and hit subscribe. Because what happened over the next 72 hours rewrote everything about betrayal, survival, and revenge. The morning started with deceptive calm at Forward Operating Base Sentinel. Captain Lena Harlow was reviewing patient charts in the medical tent. Age 28, average height, dark hair in a regulation bun, brown eyes that never missed a detail. Her call sign was Flatline, but the irony was this: her mortality rate was 2.1% across 89 critical surgeries. The Army average was 15%. Captain Harlow, Colonel Webb appeared at the tent entrance. "We've got a situation. Convoy hit an IED 40 clicks out. Multiple casualties. We're sending you with the Delta extraction team." Lena grabbed her trauma bag without hesitation. "How many critical?" "Unknown. Communications are spotty. Delta thinks it might be a trap. Intel suggests enemy forces are specifically targeting our medical personnel." "Then we'd better move fast, sir." Specialist Danny Kim, her surgical assistant, caught her arm as she headed for the helicopter. "Lena, this feels wrong. 3 medical teams have been ambushed in 6 weeks. Maybe." "People are bleeding, Danny. We don't get to pick which rescues feel safe." The Black Hawk lifted off at 1400 hours. Lena sat with 5 Delta operators, professional, silent, heavily armed. Their leader, Master Sergeant Cole Rorden, had the kind of scarred face that told stories he'd never speak aloud. 20 minutes into the flight, the pilot's voice crackled. Approaching coordinates. No smoke, no signal, nothing. Lena's instinct screamed. IED strikes always had smoke, always had wreckage. "Pull back," she said into comms. But it was too late. Fire passed by the helicopter, hitting one of the engines. The pilot cursed, making an emergency landing. The ground came hard. Everyone rolled, equipment scattered. "Out! Out!" Rorden shouted. They ran into open terrain. Lena held her bag tight, looking for wounded. But there were no wounded, no wreckage, just empty terrain. "Trap," Rorden said. 200 meters behind that ridge. We move." They ran. Lena was in the middle, being protected, or so she thought. When they reached the ridge, Rorden stopped. "King, Matthews, secure the perimeter. Harlow, stay here." 2 operators left. Lena stayed with Rorden and the other 2. Rorden turned to her. There was a strange expression on his face. "You know what your problem is, Lena. Enlighten me." "You're too good. Saved 47 soldiers in 6 months. 2.1% mortality rate. You became a legend. Everyone talks about you." Lena's hand drifted to her sidearm. Something was wrong. "And that," Rorden continued, "is bad for business." "What business?" "Opium trade, weapons smuggling, medical supply smuggling." Rorden's voice was hard. "You're closing the routes, Lena. Every casualty you save disrupts their medical supply chain. Every surgery threatens their underground hospital network." The pieces were falling into place. patient convoys, accidents, missing medical supplies. You sold us out, Lena whispered. $50,000, each of us, plus future payments. Rorden shrugged. Nothing personal, just business. Lena stepped back. The team agreed to... The team won't know you're dead. IED attack. Everyone died. Tragic. Military honors. At that moment, Rorden raised his rifle. Lena turned reflexively. The bullet hit her chest. The impact emptied the breath from her lungs. The world slowed. She flew backward. The ground came. Hard, painful, but she wasn't dead. Body armor. The ceramic plate had stopped the bullet, but the impact had cracked her sternum. Every breath was torture. Confirm the target. Rorden's voice came from above. Lena lay motionless, didn't breathe, squinted her eyes. Footsteps approached. Sergeant Briggs coming to check. Clean kill, Briggs said into the radio. She's gone. Good. Destroy the helicopter. Make it look like an IED. Extraction in 20 seconds. Footsteps faded. Lena opened her eyes. Sky, blue, beautiful. Then she saw the truth. Looking at the ground 3 meters away, a small metal disc. A mine. Her heart stopped. She was in a minefield. Rorden had thrown her into the middle of a minefield. If she stood up, took a step, moved. Explosion. For 5 minutes, she didn't move at all. Just lay there, lungs burning, brain working. EOD training. 3 weeks at Fort Leonard Wood. How mines are placed, how they're detected, how they're removed. She slowly turned her head, scanned her surroundings. 4 more mines, within visible distance, so at least 10 to 15 more buried. The tree line was 30 meters away, 30 meters through death. But there was no other choice. Rorden would come back to confirm the kill. Lena took a deep breath, despite the pain. Then she made her plan. There are 3 ways to escape a minefield. You wear a bomb suit. None. You call an EOD team. Impossible. Or you check every centimeter, passing death inch by inch. Lena chose the 3rd way. First movement. She dug her fingers into the soil, slowly, lightly, felt the soil structure. Mines were usually buried 2 to 6 inches deep. Pressure trigger. Second movement. She rolled right, very slowly, distributing body weight. 30 centimeters. Stopped. Checked. Her fingers searched the soil. Metal, small, round edge. Mine. 15 centimeters to her left. She breathed, rolled left. Slow. Pain exploded in her chest, but she stayed silent. 45 centimeters more. Then she found a metal piece. Helicopter debris, fallen. 30 centimeters long metal rod. She had her tool. Now, every 50 centimeters she stopped, gently probed the metal rod into the soil to locate mines. Clink. Metal sound. Mine. She marked it, placed a small stone, went around it. Clink. Again. Marked. Went around. She repeated this movement 17 times. 17 mines. It took 40 minutes. Her body was drenched in sweat, every movement like a knife in her chest. But she reached the tree line. She stood up, legs trembling. She looked back. Her tracks, the winding path through the mines. Impossible, she whispered, but I did it. Hiding among the trees, she checked her radio. Broken. Rorden's bullet had hit it directly, but the headset worked. She could only listen, not speak. She heard Rorden's voice. Package eliminated. Payment transfer confirmed. Next shipment Tuesday. Usual route. Another voice. Unfamiliar. Good. Female surgeon was problem. Closing too many smuggling routes. Medical supplies, morphine, surgical equipment. All disrupted. This removes obstacle. Copy helicopter destroyed. IED scene set. Extraction in 10 inches. Lena's rage was ice cold. Her team. Her brothers. Sold for money. But now she had an advantage. They thought she was dead. Lena moved, in pain but determined. Target Fob Sentinel, 15 kilometers away. But first, she needed to do something. Send a message to Rorden's team. In the darkness of night, Lena approached the Delta team's extraction point. While they waited for the helicopter, they felt safe. Lena was 400 meters away, on a hill, watching. In her hand, broken radio, but a part she could extract, frequency transmitter, plan, send them a signal. I'm alive. She aimed at Rawdon's radio antenna, 400-meter distance, an impossible shot for a wounded surgeon struggling to breathe. But Lena Flatline Harlow lived on impossibilities. She breathed in, breathed out, the natural pause between heartbeats, pulled the trigger. The antenna shattered. Rawdon and his team hit the dirt. "King!" Rawdon shouted across the valley. "I know that's you." Lena didn't answer, just displaced, new position. "We can work this out," Rawdon continued. "It's just business." Lena smiled. Everything was just business, until someone shot back. Over the next 48 hours, Lena hunted the Delta team. She led them into traps. Simple but effective. Deadfall trap broke Sergeant Matthews's ankle. Tripwire injured Briggs' knee. False trail led them deeper away from support. Every move broke their morale. The hunters became the hunted. On the third night, Lena infiltrated their camp. She sent a message on Rawdon's satellite phone to Kim. Coordinates. Alive. Betrayal. Rawdon plus team paid by smugglers. Need backup. Evidence on recording. Then she silently approached Rawdon. He was sleeping. Lena drew her knife. Not lethal. She drove it through his hand, pinning it to the ground. Rawdon screamed. The camp woke, but Lena vanished into the darkness. "Find her!" Rawdon roared, pulling his hand free. "Find her now!" At dawn, helicopter sounds came. 2 Blackhawks, 1 Apache escort. Lena fired a flare, red star in the sky. "I'm here." The first Blackhawk landed. Kim jumped out running. "Jesus, Lena!" looking at her wounds. "How are you even standing?" "Surgeons don't die easy," she said simply. Behind them, the second Blackhawk was landing at Rawdon's position. Arrests began. Major Sarah Chen stepped off the helicopter, looked at Lena. "You were shot in the chest, thrown into a minefield, walked 15 clicks, and hunted them down." "They started it," Lena replied. "I finished it." 6 weeks later, Lena stood in the Pentagon. Medal of Honor placed around her neck. "Captain Harlow," General Morrison said, "you were betrayed by your team, shot, thrown into a minefield. You survived and brought them to justice. Surgeons don't quit, sir. Not on patients, not on justice." Morrison smiled. "I have an offer for you." "A special unit. Interested. When do I start, sir?" 3 months later, Lena briefed her new team. "Betrayal comes," she said, "from teammates, from commanders, from people you trust. But if you have a chance to survive, fight, because dying is easy. Living and beating them, that's the hard part." Kim found her after the briefing. "Still having nightmares?" he asked. "Every night." "You?" "Same." They walked. Behind them, the sun was setting. "Lena," Kim said quietly, "what you did, escaping the minefield, walking 15 clicks wounded, hunting them down, it's going to become legend." Lena smiled. "I didn't survive because I'm special. I survived because I refused to let them win, even after they tried to kill you. Especially because of that, Lena Harlow became a legend in the special operations medical community. Not for her surgical skill, though it was exceptional. Not for her survival, though it was impossible. But for being shot in the chest, thrown into a minefield, and still coming back to destroy them. They wanted to eliminate her. She flatlined their careers. Have you ever faced a situation like this? When survival is more about mindset than equipment. What would you do if betrayed? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this story reminded you that survival is a choice, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories. More warriors who refuse to die are waiting. Watch next. Until tomorrow, remember, they can shoot you, throw you into a minefield, but they can't take the surgeon out of you. And surgeons know exactly how to fight. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to see more incredible stories like this.